Greetings, everyone. This is Pastor Mock, and this is now the fourth episode in our series on gossip, resisting gossip. We're using Matthew Mitchell's book as a guide. We are now, in this episode and in the next episode, looking at a gallery of gossips. That's his language. We're going to consider 5 kinds of gossips, and we'll look at 2 of them in this episode and then the other 3 next episode. So these 5 gossips, and they could go by different names, and this is not necessarily all the kinds of gossips that exist in the world, but here are 5 common gossips. There's the spy, the grumbler, the backstabber, the chameleon, and the busybody. So we'll look at the spy and the grumbler today. But before we do, let me just point out that these kinds of gossips are not specific to either gender. So we can't say, well, the spy is only male or is predominantly male, and the grumbler is predominantly female. We can't do that. So both males and females sin in any of these ways when it comes to gossip. And as I talk about these 5 gossips, I want you to ask yourself where or which one or ones really fits you, because we're all to some degree or another tempted to gossip at some level, and one of these might apply to you more than the others. So ask yourself which of them might apply best. And before we look at spy and grumbler, there are 3 questions. Remember, we're digging deeper than the behavior. The words that come out of our mouths are behavior from a heart that has this overflow, this abundance of the heart that the mouth speaks. So here are 3 questions that we should ask when we are considering gossips as we listen to them, or as we are gossips ourselves. So getting at the heart, we want to ask, what does the gossiper want and believe? So we're getting at the motives. We're getting at the heart desires and the beliefs that the individual affirms. What is ruling this person's heart? Whom is this person worshiping, or what is this person worshiping? And the third question is, what kind of poisonous liquid is in this person's quote-unquote heart bottle that is just overflowing in sinful gossip? What does this gossiper want and believe? What's ruling this person's heart? Who are they worshiping? What are they worshiping? And what kind of overflow do we see in this heart? So the spy is the first kind of gossip. Proverbs 11:13 is offered to speak of this kind of person. Whoever goes about slandering reveals secrets. And then we have a contrast. But he who is trustworthy in spirit keeps a thing covered. Do you want to be a trustworthy individual? Well, I hope so. And part of the characteristics of a trustworthy individual is one who keeps a thing covered, someone who holds secrets when they ought to be held. But the opposite of that, so an untrustworthy individual, a faithless individual, is someone who is going about slandering, and by doing that is revealing secrets, is telling the secrets of someone else that he should not be telling. This spy is a peddler of secrets. You might consider the spy an informer. Nobody likes to be an informer. You see that in a lot of cop shows. When you turn a criminal to become an informant, They don't like doing that, but they're in no other position. Otherwise, they're going to go to jail. So what do? They inform on their former criminal buddies. Well, this person is willful in his spying, in his secret telling. This person is eager-eared. He's an eager-eared one. He's always listening for what new story there might be that he could then reveal to someone else. This person loves the scuttlebutt, loves the dirt, loves to get the scoop, the down low, as some say. Loves to acquire new information and is always just going about and hearing down the hall or on social media, at the water cooler, through the email chains, through the private chat rooms, and on and on and on. This person is eager to receive information to then disseminate to other people who hitherto don't have that information. Now, what motivates this person, the spy, this gossip spy? Well, it's power. Power of knowing something that others don't. I think one individual that comes to mind when I was in college, when I was taking my introductory to Hebrew, there was this one person who was, she just always wanted to let everyone know that she knew more than everyone else did. If we translated a couple sentences in Hebrew, well, she translated 4 or 5. If we are studying Hebrew, she is studying that and Ugaritic. Can you believe that as a college kid? So on and on, she always one-upped us. This is someone who likes to have power in knowing more than you do. And person likes to have power to know something to make trouble, or likes power of just having the thrill of being the first. We see this in our children, don't we? We see, if we have, say, some toy or some special food or some ice cream, something, we say, kids, who wants this? And me, no, me. And they want to be the first ones to receive the whatever goodie it is that's being offered. We see this power to include some and exclude others. We see this in cliques, oftentimes in high school. It's not excluded and not exclusively done in high school, but think of the movie Mean Girls. And now I didn't watch the movie, but I know what it's about, and I've seen Mean Girls in my teaching experience. I've seen cliques as well for males. So again, it's not gender specific, but there's that power of including some and excluding others. That's what drives this kind of gossip. And then another kind of gossip is the grumbler. We can look at Psalm or Proverbs 16:28, which says, "A dishonest man spreads strife, and a whisperer separates close friends." Remember, that word whisper is a kind of gossip, someone who's murmuring and quietly communicating the bad stories of another person. Some similar passage is Psalm 106 and verse 24, 25. This recounts or recalls Exodus 16, the grumbling in the wilderness. So Psalm 106, 24 and 25 says, "Then they," referring to the generation, the wilderness generation, wandering one, Then they despised the pleasant land, having no faith in his promise. They murmured in their tents and did not obey the voice of the Lord. So this grumbler is a whisperer, one who is murmuring, one who is complaining, someone who's doing so, um, beneath his breath. He's complaining about another person. Sometimes this grumbler, this grumbling gossip, is viewed positively as simply someone who just needs to vent. A person just needs to complain about another person. Just get it off your chest and then you'll be fine. This is very common as a therapeutic method. And complaining is not in itself a means of sanctification or a means of dealing with whatever problem you're complaining about. So what moves or motivates the grumbler, this gossip who grumbles and complains and murmurs and whispers? Well, it's jealousy. At least this is one motive of the grumbler. If you're jealous, you will be tempted to complain about that person of whom you're jealous. Now, if you're not content with your lot in life, you will be tempted to be jealous of another person, and that jealousy might show itself in grumbling gossip. Maybe somebody just went on a 2-week vacation. Maybe your friend or family member went on a 2-week vacation, and you're jealous. That's what you wanted to do. And you start talking to other people behind your family member's back and say, oh, I can't believe that they spent all that money. So wasteful. You're speaking badly about that person behind their back. Maybe someone got a new car. Maybe they have a larger house than you do. Maybe they have children and you don't. And you're jealous of that person for that. And so you speak ill of them behind their back. That's gossip. That's a grumbling gossip. And we ought to avoid that kind of communication, that kind of storytelling. God does not approve of that way of speaking about someone behind their back. So these are two kinds of gossips, a spy and a grumbler. We've asked, what does this gossiper want and believe? What's ruling this person's heart? And again, for the spy, it's power. For the grumbler, it could be jealousy. Next time, we'll look at the backstabber, the chameleon, and the busybody.